keep that on the down low, and I'm going to get into the story of why we didn't talk a lot about Aperture early on, why we didn't want to tip our hand to that's exactly what we were trying to build from day one, but we needed to keep that close to the vest, and we're going to talk about why here in a little bit. So the first thing we do is we want the investors and these Wall Street guys to understand where do we come from, how do we get here? And here's a great video that talks about the transition from listing power tools to LPT Realty.
I met Robert when I first got into real estate, and I had done a bunch of transactions in my first couple of months. I wanted to find out as much as I could about what he had done to be successful, and I would implement some of those marketing principles that he had. And slowly but surely, he started running concepts of, well, what if you could do this? Or what if you could do this? Or what if? And so it ultimately ended up becoming the birth of listing power tools.
So spin your mind back. In 2016, I went to work with Robert, and he had just gotten a prototype of the Listing Power Tools Power Pack.
I was in those first years back then of building this brand with him. Robert was touching all spheres of marketing at that point.
Television, buying outdoor, writing books, pushing digital, sending out thousands and thousands of pieces of mail.
There were good agents out there who just didn't understand how to market, who understood the contract, who understood how to service the client, who just needed that additional help.
Robert decided that he was going to go full in to try to help real estate agents to win. That was really his motivation. And so he created these marketing tools.
I mean, Robert spent over $150 million on advertising and marketing to be able to put together what he felt was going to help the agent win at the highest level. And it worked.
And all these testimonials were coming in. I had agents that were sending selfies with a box.
Everywhere we went, agents were just crushing it with this box.
It was the most powerful marketing presentation that existed for real estate.
People were literally lined up out the door and around the corner.
It was just really cool to be there and see the success that these agents were having.
You would drive down the street and see listing power tools writers everywhere.
So innovative. Nobody's ever seen anything like this before.
I mean, it was a phenomenon.
It was absolutely on fire.
Everyone was winning.
My mind was blown at the success I was having because of this box.
The product was so good, it basically wrote its own ad.
It was growing from a geography standpoint. We were spreading across the nation.
People I didn't even know were asking me about this magic white box.
The magic white box.
The magic white box.
I think Robert began to be frustrated because it was as if he had handcuffs on.
All of us were thinking this is a successful product, successful company, successful launch. But it was not successful to Robert.
He had all these ideas of tools that he wanted to create, ways that he wanted to help real estate agents win, and he believed that he needed to become the brokerage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Excited to be here today to talk about the future of listing power tools and Robert Palmer companies.
Tools that he
As
wanted
many of
to
you know,
create,
in 2016,
ways that he wanted to help real
we
estate
embarked
agents
on a
win,
mission to
and
build
he
marketing
believed that
technology for
he
real
needed
estate
to become
agents.
a broker.
And I had this goal to make some of the best marketing and philosophies and things that I've used in my future available to real estate agents. But as we went down this journey, we started to realize that unfortunately, as a software as a service, as a SaaS provider, that our interests weren't necessarily aligned with the agents that we served. And so my team and I sat down and we thought about how can we reinvent this company in a way where our interests are aligned, where we can roll out the best possible technology for our agents to help them sell the most homes possible and be as successful as possible and help as many customers of theirs as possible. And we realized that the best way to do that was to become a real estate brokerage. And starting in 2018, we made the decision that that's the direction we were going to go. So here we are almost 4 years later, and I'm proud to announce that Listing Power Tools is giving birth to LPT Realty.
So at this point, they start to realize we're a little different. We didn't just pop up one day and say, hey, let's launch a real estate brokerage. I didn't come from running a real estate team or being a real estate agent myself. We approached this journey from the marketing perspective. We had built this very successful marketing products and technology company that was profitable and winning and growing, and I made the decision to transition it into a real estate brokerage. And so when we meet with folks and we talk about this, they see right there's something unique about this story. The lens that we are coming from, the fact that we own our own technology, the fact that we have these in-house marketing products. And so from here, I can tell we're starting to get their attention in a way. Because I'll tell you, people are very skeptical in these early meetings of real estate brokerages. Most have not performed very well in the public markets and on Wall Street. We are at a terrible housing market right now, with 4 million annualized home sales. Some of the prior real estate brokerage IPOs lost people a lot of money, and so we have to overcome that. And we have to have the Wall Street and the investment bankers understand, why is LPT different? Here's one reason we're different. We're profitable. All right? Yeah. This is when I really blow their minds. They're like, wait, you're profitable. How is that possible? All your big brother competitors are bleeding money. How are you profitable? So during a 30-year low in home sales, while scaling to all 50 states in Canada, we have been able to drive profitability. All right? Now, when we talk to them about that, we say we do that by low agent comp, industry low cost per transaction, and cost-efficient growth. And so now you are going to say, well, wait a minute. We have the most aggressive comp plans in the industry. How do we have low agent comp? The beautiful thing is, every time you buy a product from LPT, Listing Power Tools, our luxury collections, our listing collections, the way accounting works, that reduces the agent comp. And so the fact that you all are embracing our marketing products, and you're sending direct mail and using our digital marketing, and you're winning with the power packs, and you're winning with the magazines, is driving down that agent compensation line on our financial statements, which makes us very attractive to Wall Street. So the fact that we've been able to build this amazing model where we're able to give you the most aggressive compensation plans in the market while also driving a lower agent compensation cost than our competitors is where people really start to perk up. And the key to that is those marketing products. It is that marketing business that started as Listing Power Tools. While others are out there chasing mortgage revenue or title revenue or credit cards or fintechs or whatever they're trying to cook up in order to get to profitability, our marketing engine, the heartbeat of Listing Power Tools, is baked into our DNA, and it is the reason we've been able to be profitable. We're currently at a $700 million revenue run rate. I'm going to show you in a little bit why that is very important. We had 180% revenue growth between 2023 and 2024, and we're on track to do 80 to 90% revenue growth between 2024 and 2025. At this point, the folks in the room usually say something like, we've never seen anything like this. We don't have anything like you in our portfolio. We've never seen a company grow 80% year over year while profitable. We've definitely never seen a company grow 180% year over year while profitable. And that is exactly what we are at LPT Aperture Holdings. We're top 10 brokerage and transactions by size according to Real Trends. We know today we're more like number 7. Once the merger of number 1 and 2 happens, we'll go to 6, and with a little more growth, we'll be 5 before you know it. A lot of growth there. Yeah, 100% organic growth. Yeah, 100% organic growth, that's the next big question. Did you do all this by acquiring companies? Was this a roll-up strategy, right? Because from an investor's lens, they're looking at Compass. You know, Compass is the highest market cap brokerage in our industry. They grew almost exclusively through acquisition. And so when we tell them, nope, 100% organic growth, we didn't buy anybody to build this thing. We built it from the ground up. And we're attracting the industry's best talent at the corporate level, at the agent level, and at the team level. And that's all of you. Some of you may have seen this before. Again, you got to think, like, you're sitting in this chair as an investment banker. You came into a meeting you probably didn't want to take. And I've had a lot of those. So one of the interesting things is, because of my personal wealth relationships with some of these organizations, the guys that I'm a client of are able to like push me in, or were able to push me in way early to the investment banking sides of the house. And I remember early on, one of the biggest Wall Street banks, we get on a call, scheduled for a Zoom with this guy. He's like a executive chairman level or whatever, co-chairman of their equity capital markets division. Like, this guy is the top of the top. We jump on the Zoom. He literally opens with, I don't even know how this got on my calendar. Apparently, after COVID, people can just put things on my calendar. I don't even know why I'm here. I mean, this is the opening line. I'm like, here we go. You know, I put on my happy face. 9 minutes later, he said, how do I get more time with you? How do I get on your calendar? I want to know more about this story. And that has been the magic of LPT Aperture Holdings. And so as we take him through this presentation, I think it was right after this slide where he said that to me. And this is where Real Trends thought we made up our numbers because we had grown so much.
Our team up in arms with LPT because their growth was just absolutely unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
With you. So they more than doubled their transaction size and more than tripled their volume. So when we ran the anomaly report, they were number one on the list of, is this real? So we went through the extra vetting process that we do when a new entrant appears on the top 10, which is we request financials, we go deep, we get all kinds of information to make sure that this is actually real. LPT is actually real. So the fact that they went from number 28 in the rankings on sides to now being number 10, number 38 in volume to now number 14 is probably one of the largest jumps that we've ever seen on the rankings. The fact that they were founded 3 years ago, appeared on the rankings 2 years ago, and cracked the top 10 in the sides category this year, it's pretty extraordinary.
So again, we are just constantly blowing their minds as we go through this presentation. How has anyone had growth like that? And then we talk about, while we are very excited about our agent count growth, breaking into the top 10, we increased our agent count by 88%. This is from Real Trends. But more importantly, we increased our units by 175%, which means you all are getting more productive, winning more listings, winning more buyers, doing more transactions per agents. And again, now they start to really get excited. Wait, all these brokerages have always claimed that they had tools and marketing to help their agents be more productive. The numbers say you're actually doing it over there at LPT. And the answer is yes, we are absolutely doing it over here at LPT. Our agents are winning. And then from here, we let them hear from you guys.
Well, I've been at least 5 other brokerages, but I found my brokerage for life.
It's not the fastest growing brokerage in history for no darn reason.
What Robert has created is revolutionary. Robert Palmer just has his foot on the gas the whole time, and just more and more and more. So I couldn't be happier.
The culture here is just incredible.
There is a community that is backing me up.
Now we have the support of a brokerage that sees our vision, and we're going to disrupt the industry.
No other brokerage or firm offers a listing box like LPT Realty does. When I saw those marketing tools, I knew I can do this, and my business just took off like that.
Just the tools alone has helped me get opportunities in business that I have not gotten.
We're now able to open our own office, and we were never able to do that at a different brokerage.
LPT is here to make their agents win. There's nothing like it.
There is no limit with LPT.
It's exciting. I'm sorry, I'm excited.
Yeah, give it up for your agents in that video. We've got 2 or 3 of these that we show throughout the presentation because what I know and what they're starting to understand is it's about all of you. We can build a great model, we can build technology, we can build marketing, but without all of you, without the beating heart of this organization, we have no transactions, we have no sales, we have no revenue. And it's why we make sure to put the spotlight on your accomplishments as we take them through this presentation. Okay. So then we zoom out to here and we say, all right, we've told you we're profitable. Now let's talk about how unprofitable some of the competitors are and have been. And so this is what we call operating income, which is like the real profit. Like there's this, if you guys know who Mike Del Prete is, he does this funny video where a lot of the Wall Street companies use a metric called adjusted EBITDA, where they add back a lot of expenses that they don't think they should have to count, but they really should. And he talked about it as like making a salad and just throwing everything in there. This is operating income. This is the real measurement of, is a company making money or not? And so when we look at our competitors, and all this information comes from their public filings, you can go look them up on the SEC, and you can check my numbers. I'm sure the Wall Street guys are. We kind of took them and we lined them up in where they had similar revenues to where we were in our arc. So in 2024, we did $250 million in revenue. For Compass, that was kind of like their 2016, where they did $187 million. EXP, all the way back in 2017, did $150 million. Real, back in 2022, did $381. They had much better real estate markets than we did, right? 2016, 2017, and 2022 were all better than 2024. We were the only company able to be profitable at a size of less than $500 million in that $150 to almost $400 million bucket. Real lost $20 million, EXP lost $22 million, and Compass lost a whopping $62 million. We roll forward a year. Real jumps up to $680 in revenue. Their losses go from $20 to $27 million. EXP's losses go from 22, roughly staying the same, another $22 million when they hit $500 million in revenue. We're profitable again at about $500 million in revenue, and Compass loses another $64 million. We roll forward again. Now we're getting into where we're going next year. This is where I think Real really starts to struggle with Wall Street. Their losses aren't getting better. So when you were smaller and had $380 million in revenue, you lost $20 million. You got bigger and you lost $27 million, and you got bigger again and you still lost $25 million. At some point, Wall Street wants to believe that a company can get profitable. I think there's been all this talk and misconception around, oh, well, technology companies will just get valued off of their top line revenue. No one cares if they make money. I can tell you from being in these meetings that is unequivocally false. When a tech company who is losing money is being valued, basically what's happening is the investors are going way out into the future and saying, hey, 5 years from now, we think they'll be profitable. We're going to give them credit for that and then back into it. There is no investor that says, yeah, we just want to invest in companies that are going to lose money forever. And so a lot of investors are believing, based on our peers, that they may just lose money forever, right? And then when you contrast to EXP, by the time EXP got to the $980 million in revenue, they had cut their losses all the way down to $9.5 million. And if you look, this is where Real stock, which is actually having a bad day today, coincidentally, is not performing as well as EXP relatively because the losses are not getting cut fast enough. And then we're here profitable yet again. We're on a path. We came out of another quarter of profitability. We're going to continue on this path. And now this is where Compass went crazy. They got the SoftBank money, and they lost $220 million in a single year. It's absolutely astounding. And so again, we talk through this with the investors, and what we're showing them is at a smaller scale than everyone else, we've been able to achieve profitability. And it is our agents, it's our commitment to controlling the costs, it's the marketing products that are driving that revenue and profitability. And so now we have the numbers to back up. Why are we different? How are we solving this problem in an industry that no one has ever been able to solve before us? And then I get into the philosophical how. Well, Robert, how are you able to do that? Why are agents buying your products? Why are agents joining LPT? How are you growing so fast? And we start to talk about this idea of individual definition of success. And now they're like, well, wait a minute, this CEO is not just talking about numbers and marketing and percents of profit. He's talking about how much he cares about his agents and how much he cares about their journey to success. And so we anchor that in individual definition of success, the IDOS. We meet you where you are, whether that's selling 1 or 2 homes a year or selling 1 or 2,000 homes a year. We're here to support that definition of success for you. Our commitment to agent choice, our commitment to real estate first, and our commitment to the entrepreneur alignment. Right? This is the secret sauce behind the scenes. This is what makes us unique. This is what makes our relationship unique, where we can blend together a successful company with a successful platform for agents. Then we get into this idea of the multiple models to reach the TAM. So this is a fancy Wall Street acronym for total addressable market. How big is our market? We can talk about it in terms of consumers. We can talk about it in terms of home sales, 4 million a year right now. We can talk about it in terms of agents, which is what a lot of the competitors do. And so they always say, well, there's 1.5 million NAR members. That's our total addressable market. But what we understand is not all 1.5 million agents are drawn to any particular model or compensation plan. And so when we were designing LPT, and I'm going to tell you this story in a little while, we recognized, again, if we're going to commit to individual definition of success, we have to offer the comp plans that meet agents where they are. Because at the end of the day, an agent who's on a 100% comp plan is not a great recruiting target for a Sotheby's or even for an EXP with a cap. And so when we boil it down, we think there's about 400,000 agents who are in the bucket of saying, I want to go to a brokerage where I have a split and a cap. And there's about 500,000 agents that say, I want to go to a brokerage where I don't have a percentage-based split, I have a flat amount of split, what we call 100%. And there's another 500,000 agents that say, you know what, I want to go to a different type of brokerage where there is no cap, and maybe there's a little stronger brand, right? I think of agent branded as the two buckets, and on the Aperture side, our commitment is to drive a brand that the agent can stand beside if they want to, where the LPT side is committed to you putting your brand first. And we modeled this by looking at the competitors. What does a Compass look like? What does a Caldwell Banker look like? And by building models that can serve agents in all three buckets, we are the only platform that actually has the full addressable market of 1.5 million real estate agents. And in the middle there, you'll see the marketing products and subscriptions. And that's how we drive that additional revenue. Because we're not just your brokerage, we're your marketing partner as well. And that marketing partnership is what makes our financials look so different from our peers. Every time you purchase a marketing product from LPT, you are making this company more valuable. So I want to say thank you for that. How do we purchase marketing products? What does our technology look like? Well, our wonderful spokesbirds are going to take us through what the DESI technology looks like, because remember, to Wall Street, they've never seen anything like this.
Okay, then choose your colors and click submit, and there it is. Whoa, that's awesome, bro. The computing algorithm is unfathomable.
Hey, fellas, what are you guys up to?
My guy Larry is showing us this gnarly AI bot. Yeah, it's called DESI. It's basically an all-in-one AI personal marketing department for real estate agents. Give this dude a sick demo, bro.
Yeah, I want to see.
Okay. Well, first you need a headshot. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Perfect. Now all you gotta do is add some basic info to your profile, make a few selections, and bing, bang, boom, you got marketing, tough guy. Say hello to your personal print collateral, yard signs, and door hangers. Check out your face on that epic billboard. Business cards, postcards, and you're the cover model on these beautiful agent magazines.
Hey, I'm a star.
Bro, it's like having a super brain that understands like everything, even if you're not into all that fancy tech stuff. Unmatched, unparalleled, and truly exceptional in every way. Yeah, it's true. When it comes to self-marketing, DESI handles it all for you. It's the smartest AI bot out there.
Oh no, Peter!
Oh shoot, I didn't know he was back there.
Peter, come back!
How long's he been back there? I seriously had no idea. Dude, you totally bummed out that robot, bro.
Come back, Peter, he didn't mean it.
Oh, no, I meant it. I just didn't mean for him to hear this.
Peter, please!
Yeah, pretty fantastic. So shout out to our creative team. We have the best award-winning creative team in the industry by far. John and I together have 5 Emmys, 21 Tellys, 23 Emmy nominations. We have Davey and his amazing crew. We would not look so good to the outside world if we didn't look so good on video. So big round of applause for all the folks who make that happen behind the scenes. And we are the only brokerage that actually has like Telly Awards and Emmys and all this stuff. It's pretty fantastic. You know, the big thing we talk about next with the investors is the opportunity. I believe there was a massive untapped opportunity in what I call the single entity cloud brokerage. This is the idea that one entity, not franchises, not independently owned offices, not small regional brokerages, operates across all 50 US states. And now additional, we're operating across Canadian provinces. Where in the past, you look at a behemoth like Keller Williams, they have something like 1,000 independently owned franchises. Well, that means there's owners and different concepts and different business philosophies kind of fragmenting that company. And then you have an even another layer of that at the team below that and the agent below that. And so we believe that this disintermediation of the franchise layer, eliminating the franchise layer from our business, is the future of the space. And what I believe is that none of the competitors that came before us took advantage of what that meant they could actually do for their model and for their agents. When you look at the other cloud brokerages, I look at them and see they only have one compensation model, and I think, why would you do that? That's such a very small business, small franchise way of thinking. If you're a 300-person Keller Williams franchise, I understand why you would only have one compensation model, why you would try to only let one definition of success flourish in your ecosystem, because it's hard to manage multiple comp plans across 300 people in your little brokerage. But if you're going to be a 100,000 or 150,000 agent single entity brokerage, why would you not embrace multiple comp plans, multiple technologies, and in our case now with Aperture, even multiple brands? And this was the failing that I saw of those who came before us. It's kind of interesting because Compass, who is now the largest single entity brokerage with this merger, is kind of heading down this path that I predicted back in 2021 and 2022 when we were planning the launch of LPT. With their merger or acquisition, whatever we're calling it, of Anywhere, they're now going to have multiple comp plans. They're going to have multiple brands. I think they made a mistake by doing it through the legacy franchising model. I think they made a mistake by inheriting all of the franchises across the different companies that they built. And there's actually a great opinion piece in Inman this morning from our very own Michael Valdez talking about that. But the concept, yeah, and he's going to be up here with me in a little bit. But the concept that at this size and scale and technological advancement, that you would just have one brand, one comp plan, and try to serve agents in a single definition of success, it was short-sighted. It lacked vision. And I saw that, and that's a big part of what motivated me to fund this entire company myself. It's why I didn't take any outside capital to get us to where we are. It's why I made those sacrifices and put my family's wealth and earnings at risk to build this thing, because I saw massive opportunity. I knew we would win together. I never had any doubts there. I knew that we could empower agents with the marketing tools and the respect for the individual definition of success. What I didn't fully understand until we got deeper into it was how broken the first round of these national cloud brokerages was, and our opportunity